Welcome to the Mitten Music Podcast. A couple of guys just chilling, hanging out, talking about Michigan music, all the things that make up our Michigan music community. It is the Mitten Music Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We have a great episode lined up for you right now.
All right, so we got the Rebel Eves here at FAMgrove.
Yes, we do.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for playing.
You were the first band we've gotten to actually go up there. I maybe caught the last 3 songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It was good stuff. I wish we could have seen some more, but
Right.
hopefully we'll catch Low Phase in a little bit and the end of theirs, and of course, Ladies of the Hour, the Accidentals. We'll check them out.
Yeah.
The best.
So how did this group come together? Because you guys have your own individual solo projects, and I would call it, Brian and I were talking a little bit. It's kind of like a super group. So how did this start?
We like to think so.
That's what we thought.
Please keep telling us things.
Katie's Dolly for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
We started, Grace and I have been friends for a long time. We were friends not even associated with music. It's been like 10 years now, I think.
Yeah.
And we had written like a song together. And then Katie and Grace got set up on a co-write over 2020. Was it over COVID? And that's how they met. And then Grace was like, you got to meet Katie. She's awesome. And so she set us all up on a writer's round as like our individual artists, and we kind of sang on each other's songs, and we're like, this is pretty fun, guys.
We sound pretty good.
This is pretty fun. It was a good time.
So that was the beginning.
That's the beginning, huh?
It wasn't even like honestly, our first conversation about the band was in Nashville. We were just talking about it over Butcher and Bee, or at Butcher and Bee. And our original plan was to be a band to open for speakers we love, like Brene Brown, Glennon Doyle.
Oh,
It wasn't
And
even...
now Dax Shepard.
Yeah, now Dax Shepard. Oh my God.
Have you seen the live
Adam
show?
did a list.
Yes.
I
I
was
went.
there at the Detroit one.
I was Detroit?
I was there.
Yes,
I was at the Detroit
I cried the entire time because I couldn't believe it.
I was there.
so the missing piece is opening up the show.
Yes. So then ended up, now we're opening up for bands. We went back to the other model of how musicians do things
There's still time.
There's still
We're
time.
working on
Still
it.
time.
to open up for our speakers. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a cool. Like you don't think, like I'm thinking back to the 90s, like some hard rock band like Tool. They had Heading Rounds open up for them sometimes. There was another comedian in the 80s, 90s. Dang, I'm embarrassed that I'm forgetting.
But there's a lot of that where comedians and musicians do
rock
it.
bands.
So I don't
It
see
was
why-
rock bands always too. It wasn't even like a
Right.
singer-songwriter or folk or something quieter, but maybe comedy kind of in your face, like some loud thrashing guitars. I don't know, maybe to somebody.
You guys
I would
can
go to that
make it
show.
happen. You can make it happen.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
cool.
sure.
I like that.
It is going to happen.
Something different.
It will.
So the project's relatively new, fresh,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. And you've got a few songs out.
Yeah, we have 2 songs out that are kind of like acoustic style, Heaven Without You and First Place. And then we just worked with Amber and Sav and Katie to put together this newest single, Shake the Ground. And it just sounds so cool because of them.
Yeah, we have a rock
Like
version.
full on
we just
rock.
released.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Is
just
there
heard
more
it.
than
I
one
just
version?
heard it the other day, and it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Is there more than one version of the song?
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
I love when bands do
Yeah.
that.
Double
The
version.
techno
That's
version
cool.
is coming.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you guys working on some other music, or are you guys kind of doing your solo? How do you guys mix that together? Because you got the solo work, the group.
You must not have enough to do. It sounds like.
Yeah, we have a lot of free time.
I feel like that's what music artists like. Like many projects going on, and they don't sit still.
Jill the other day was like, what even are my hobbies outside of this? I'm like, I don't have any. There's no time.
Yeah. Right now we're working on a record though.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
that's
sweet.
been our biggest focus, I think. Amber has been a huge help in making that like happen. Oops, sorry. I'm not used to la la la. But yeah, Amber has been a huge help in making that happen. And so we're actually heading to the studio. We're heading to Nashville tomorrow to start recording for a few days, and then we'll be kind of back and forth between there and Nashville.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sweet.
So we have like 3 times we're going down to Nashville in the next month and a half to get 2 EPs done.
Really?
And
so
then
you're
put
gonna be
it all together for a record
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
on vinyl. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got all the material.
Oh,
ready,
yeah.
ready
Yeah.
to go. All right.
So I know a lot of artists go to Nashville, but I feel like so many Michigan artists have this connection to Nashville that maybe it's because our podcast is called Mitten Music and we talk to Michigan artists, and that's why I think this. I'm sure it is. But I would wonder how many different, of all the transplants in Nashville, where did they come from? There's got to be a data map of that, right?
Totally.
And Michigan's got to be
Yeah.
on top. Because I don't know.
There's a lot of
There's a
Michigan people in
lot.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. And
And-
Oklahoma, for some
Oh,
reason.
really?
There's a lot of like very like Midwest.
Yeah.
I think we just hate the winter. And then we
True.
just like
That's very true.
move over there to,
Yeah.
you know.
Our
311's
original,
from Oklahoma.
Okay.
Just popped in my head.
Mm.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, our
Continue.
original name was Nashigan. Like, not
Really?
I don't think that was gonna be the band name, but that's what we called our tours. The
That could be
Nashigan
a
tour.
song.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or an album. Oh.
Michigan.
I don't
like
know.
that,
I
Michigan.
don't think so.
She's not sold.
It's not my band, so I'm just whatever sticks. It's
Accidentals already have Michigan again and again.
Yeah,
So I don't know that we can
can't
do
step
that.
on that territory.
So how do you guys? How does your music different than your this group's versus your solo projects, or how is it the same in some ways?
I feel like what's different is we all come from kind of a little bit of different genres. I'd say mine's more like blues, rockish, and then kind of like folk, and I'd say pop, Katie pop. And so how we wanted to come together was pull from all 3 different genres. And I will say, I feel like we write in a way that's so cool because it almost made a whole new genre for us, which has been a little challenging to try to figure out what is it. But
So
I
you
think
haven't found a name for it yet.
no,
It doesn't
we'll
need a
see.
name.
Yeah, we have.
We
It's
did?
it's empowering Americana,
Yes.
right?
Oh.
Is
Empowering
it
America.
empowering Americana pop? Some kind of
Something like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
That was on her bio for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You obviously your website, you can kind of get a glimpse of that and kind of looked in the rest of you guys' soul stuff. Like empowering is a pretty good word. Like
Good.
I don't want to say just like girl power, because it's so much more than that, right?
Yeah.
You
We
guys
hope
do
so,
such a
yeah.
fantastic job. And I apologize, as I've seen Grace already live a couple times, like I just got it from that, just seeing her live, I could just tell, you know, it feels good. Does it feel good to you guys?
Yeah.
It really does.
On stage with
Yeah.
them feels so different than in my own project in a
Yeah.
good way. Just like I feel so safe up there, and
Yeah.
it feels like we can be more free because we're together,
Yeah.
which is cool.
And this evening you had some more musicians with you on stage, right? There was a percussionist and there was someone else?
Just
No,
her.
just-
Or
Just
okay, it was-
her.
She just
Okay.
plays 7 million.
She hops all around.
Yes.
And
So
we
you
heard
would think-
comments from the previous fan. They're like, you got to ask them about who was playing the drums. They were so cool. and,
Yeah.
different stuff. And from where we were sitting, we couldn't really see much there. But who is that? How do you know?
Put her in the corner.
Yeah, how do you know who she is?
Her name is Carolyn Keeble, and she's incredible. She's a world percussionist. She's studied everywhere. And so she has all of this whole knowledge and background of all of these drums and the culture that's attached to them. And so she's just been a very mindful in bringing them into our music and using them in a way that just really hits that empowering part of the genre home, I feel like, because when we have her behind us, it's like a totally different show. There's just something about her energy and the way that she just plays that just, I don't know, it's like the missing piece.
How often does she play with you guys? It was tonight. Wasn't the first time, it sounded like.
No, honestly though, this summer was her first time with us, starting in July, and so she's played with us only the big shows, like
Yeah.
July through now. We'll bring her out, but she went to Sioux Falls with us, and so she's played with us probably now like 7, 8 times,
Cool.
maybe not even that many.
Feels like longer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I don't know.
What is
That
time?
could just be a feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
Either way, we just rehearse and go. So what is time? We don't know.
I read you.
Exactly. So you said it's I almost feel like you've got to trust and you know how everybody's going to be together, but it's probably quite a bit different than being solo because you don't have that support. So you kind of are on your own. Is that what's maybe more comforting or trustworthy. You've got some people behind you that can help you if you feel like you're not into it that night early or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it shows up in a lot of areas, like either just going on stage. There has been times when, there's one of us or two of us that's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired or whatever. And it is nice to like be able to feed off each other's energy. And even just like we run this band like a business. Like we are like making a lot of, behind the scenes decisions. And even that is really nice because we all know what it is like to do it on our own, that when we have each other to lean on, and it's like, it's so many decisions. It's so many decisions you have to make. And we're like, help, I can't do this by myself. Like it feels so good to have each other.
As a group, have you figured out like certain roles that you're best at behind the scenes?
We're figuring that out. There's been some
some
rub.
conflicts.
Yeah.
Some
I know,
fights,
juicy.
some infighting. Yeah.
You
Any
guys
scars?
are like, oh, wow.
Right? Please tell us. No, hopefully it's just a conversation clears it up. Maybe over
sure.
time. Over
Yes,
time.
1,000%. It's just normal band stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, who's doing this? I don't know. Oh, my plate's too full this week. Can someone else take over? And we've just had to learn a lot about how to communicate, especially because we live in 3 different places. And so I feel like it's been a really good learning curve for me anyway. I'm like, I have to communicate when I can't, like take this on, or asking for help, learning how to ask for help.
So hard. It's hard.
So hard. Yeah.
So how do you guys make this work if you guys are all in 3 different places?
Well,
Delta Sky Miles.
The
Asana.
internet.
Asana. I do a lot of the booking. So mostly right now we've been in Michigan playing, obviously, a lot of Michigan festivals, which has this past year has been a lot of Chicago, Michigan, and then Wisconsin. And so our hope is to start building out from there because, Jill lives in Seattle and Katie lives in Nashville, which are killer music hubs. So we kind of have the 3 best hubs in the country.
Unfortunately, literally spread across the country.
Yeah. But the goal is to like build a base in each spot so that we can do this more full time. And so we've just started in Michigan because I was here and I do our booking. So I'm like,
Yep.
You're like,
I
this
know
is what
that
I got.
these are my contacts.
Right,
So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Where's your favorite place to play, or so far as the band? I guess a separate question could be, where's your favorite place to play in Michigan? But as a band, where has your favorite place in Michigan been that you've played so far? You don't have to say FAMgrove tonight. You don't have to. You can if you want.
It was a great show.
It was a great
Man,
show.
the crowd was
Unique,
so
right?
nice.
That barn was cool.
Very cool.
It was a vibe.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
They were into it. It was cool.
They loved us.
I saw lots of smiling people.
Yeah.
Well, the fans that were here earlier, they were talking. They said that they felt that you moved the audience.
Wow.
So they felt that just observing that. So
Wow.
That's awesome.
That feels good.
Yeah, that does.
I think Bliss.
Yeah. Bliss Fest.
Bliss
We
Fest.
played Bliss
Bliss
main
was
stage
so
and it was
good.
awesome. That was at one of our first shows with Carolyn, maybe the second show with her because we did Fern Fest the night before. And it was just like, it was awesome. Like I don't know. It just feels really good to be able to like sink in together on the stage. And I think part of what makes this feel easy is we're not leading the show on your own. Like in our own bands, you're responsible for everything on stage. How you interact with the audience, like that's exhausting. But to be able to have like really 4 people creating a mood and setting a vibe, it makes a world of difference.
And I would say, like, because our songs are there's a lot of messaging, it's like way easier to say it together, I guess. It's just scarier to be up there and like take a stand for even like something that is so universal as like women should have equal rights. Like that should feel like a pretty easy thing to say. But I think it's just a little bit easier when you have other people, behind you. So,
Yeah.
And you've all had solo stuff, so you know how it is, like you kind of alluded to already. You know how hard it is doing it by yourself. So now that you have a band with 2 other people, it's like, oh, well, I get to breathe a little bit, I guess, or I don't have to be responsible. And you mentioned the decisions. Like, is it just the amount of decisions that's daunting, or is it like making the right decision?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. And and it's like our lives and our livelihood and also, we don't have like a guaranteed income. It's like we're making a t-shirt. Like, I don't know, is this going to sell?
Yeah.
I hope they like it. Let's throw it up on Instagram and get a poll. Oh, there's only 10 people that responded. Okay, I guess we just have to decide what the people will like. You know, especially like maybe as we're getting, you know, more and more experience, we'll have, you know, more information to go off of. But as a new band, it's like, you know, we're just taking shots in the dark. So
and gotten really lucky.
Yeah.
Honestly, like really
Yeah.
lucky. Yeah. Which some is luck and some is we've all had 10 plus years on our own.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
that goes into all of it too. But with the merch in general, I'm just like, wow, I've never had lines at my own merch table for my own music. And then with Rebels, it's like always, which is just like, what? It's so cool.
Yeah.
We're
it's pretty
moving
awesome.
people to the merch line.
yeah.
Just like little girls to see like, and older
Yeah.
women, like any generation, just to see women come up and be like, this song resonated with me because of this, or I was in an abusive relationship and this. And it's just like, yeah, that's why we started a band. That's why we wanted to do this, was just to move people and also move ourselves and step into more freedom.
Yeah.
I have 2 young daughters, and I've taken them to see Patty Prashayla before.
Yeah.
And so
Oh my gosh,
she's
like
so
when I found out
badass.
about you guys, I was like, girls, guess what? Here's another good one. And so they're just digesting the Rebel Leaves. They like it. Yeah. It's good
Report
stuff.
back to us.
Will do. Will do.
You talked about the 10 years of experience, or maybe it's more depending on the person. But so I feel like we'd be remiss not to each ask you individually, like, what is your solo projects, or what's that experience been like for each of you? So you want to start, Jilian?
Sure. Yeah. So I consider myself folk singer songwriter. I've always just been, you know, me and my guitar. And a couple of my projects explore a little bit more like pop melodies and things like that. But I've been writing since I was about 15 and moved down to Nashville at 17 and was really like chasing it. For a while, really my focus was on songwriting. That's like my favorite thing, my favorite part of music.
She's very good at it.
Killer.
Thanks,
like,
guys.
So good.
Yeah.
So I did some, I'm putting out records for myself, but then also writing with other artists and writing for film and television, and really made that my focus over the last, I don't know, how many years has it been now? I guess it's been like 12 or 13 now. How old am I? But yeah, that's the gist of my, lived in Nashville. And then a couple of years ago was like, I need a break, and moved into my van, ended up in Seattle, and still making music out there. But really a lot of my focus right now is on this band.
Okay. Kate?
Yeah. I also started writing around that same time, like in middle school, you know, just like in my room, not sharing, you know, and then, I had started writing more like just kind of on my own, and I showed them to my brother, and then he like reached out to a couple producers like on Twitter, back when it was like very like early days.
Yeah.
And
That was good.
found Dave Douglas, who's the drummer for Reliant K, and I like grew up listening, like just you know worshiping them. And so he went behind my back and reached out to Dave, and then he was like, "Could you do this EP for her?" And so I ended up recording 4 songs, and I was telling a friend this story,
I didn't know
and
this.
Yeah, I didn't know this story either.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
so he just sort of like launched this journey that I had no idea like where it would lead, you know? And so I, you know, after that, it just sort of every couple of years, I was like, well, I have more songs, like I'll just record them and put them out and see what happens. And so, yeah, I think that was like, 11 years ago now, which is insane.
What a great brother.
But he's the best.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So,
That's really cool.
yeah.
Mine's a little different. I moved to Nashville right after college to run a nonprofit. So my best friend and I started a nonprofit to fight sex trafficking in the U.S. using benefit concerts. So I was on the other side of the music industry, booking artists, booking venues, and raising money for that. So I did some music down there. I released 1 EP. Like we had done 1 co-write. I had no idea what a co-write was when I moved down there. And it's like Nashville only does co-writes. But I didn't really start pursuing my own band until I moved back here in 2019. So I definitely have been the newest on performing, and got got the business skills down.
Yeah.
It's the it's
Yeah.
the music that I'm like, oh, what key are we in?
You do a good job, I'll tell you what.
1,000%.
Yeah.
For real.
Fake it till you make it. That's what
Yeah.
they told me.
That's what we've done for 3 years.
100%. It's all
Trial by
business is.
fire,
Yeah.
and now you're the master of fire. So
There
you got
go.
it down.
Exactly.
Love it.
Do you guys have any shows planned out? You didn't ask this. You asked. You alluded to the album that you're working on. Do you have some shows that you could share with us? I know some bands like we're working on a few things, but we don't want to say anything quite yet because maybe it's not signed out. But is there any place we can look forward to seeing you that you can talk
Yeah.
about?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got Grace is working so hard behind the scenes. She keeps us so busy in the best way. I literally don't think Jillian and I have been doing this for such a long time. But the other thing that, just to kind of touch on is, as a solo artist, like doing that alone was so much harder, like booking and doing shows. I've never played this many shows before in my life. It's awesome. So
We're getting to work, bitches.
Yeah.
We gotta make money somehow.
1,000%. Yep.
Mama's gotta eat.
1,000%. So we have a whole tour coming up in November. I guess like 6 shows, a 6-show run. So we're playing Clover Room in Kalamazoo on November 12th. We're playing Indianapolis on November 13th. We're playing Nashville on November 16th. And then Chicago.
On the 21st.
Thank you. Are you looking at the
Oh,
calendar?
yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
That was impressive so far.
I know. I was like, wow, she's killing it.
I just made the poster
Yeah, I was
today,
like,
so they're fresh in my mind. Yeah.
Chicago with accidentals.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Where's that one? At?
There's 3 with accidentals that weekend.
And then is it
Detroit.
Hamtramck or
Hamtramck.
Hamtramck?
Hamtramck.
Hamtramck.
Hamtramck. Yeah.
Is that how you
Wait.
say it?
That's how you say
Hamtramck.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not Hamtramck?
Nope. Hamtramck. It's the weirdest spelling, but yes, that's how you say
I know
it.
there's an N in there, but I thought it was silent all this time.
Weird venue.
No, it's a city.
City.
Oh, it's a city. Oh, I was like,
And the venue
what?
might be named Hamtramck something. Hamtramck?
Hamtramck.
Hamtramck.
Everyone
Chris
is going to know about this
Yeah,
Hamtramck
yeah.
show.
I hear Chris Kranick is what I hear.
Love it. Yeah, that's like
And then Gruel
and then
Oh,
girl
and
Lansing.
Lansing.
with
Yeah.
accidentals.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, those 3 are going to be fun. That's the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of November.
Okay.
Okay. I got to look to see if there's age limits
Yeah,
on
bring
these
your
things.
kids.
I was going to
We'll
say.
make
Yeah.
it.
Some
Who
of-
cares? We'll make it happen.
I like that attitude.
We'll put
I'm
them
gonna
in a
roll
little
with it.
gear case.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, one of them's freaking tall. She's 11 and she's like 5'6".
Oh,
nice.
So
Wow,
it's
I
like,
understand.
awesome.
she looks like an adult pretty much.
That's great. Love it.
Then she should be able to get in.
Yeah.
No
you're
problem.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as she
Right?
doesn't talk, the voice.
Yeah,
sounds like a
that'll give it
11-year-old.
away.
Right. But yeah, it was fun. We went and saw Patty. It was a really hot day, unfortunately, like outside in Grand Rapids, in front of the Grand Rapids Art Museum.
Yes.
Green on the
Yes.
Graham or
Yeah, green on the
Is that what
Graham on the green.
Graham on the Green, maybe.
We want to play that.
The sun was just beating right in the band's face too. I felt so bad for them. I don't even think they all had sunglasses on. I was like, you guys can all wear sunglasses, please. That looks so. It was 86 or something like that
Oh,
on a
yikes.
Thursday at 6 p.m.
Oh my.
But they did it. They pulled it off. They played for like an hour and 20 minutes
Of
or something. It was
course.
bonkers. Kids loved it. It was great. We were
awesome.
literally 5 feet away from them. It was at a table. We got there nice and early. We were right in smack dab in front.
Well, thanks for coming out and talking
Yeah.
with us.
Thanks for having us.
Where
for
can
having
people
us.
find more about the Rebel Eves?
At our website, therebeleves.com, not the therapy elves. I don't know if we
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta
Yes.
tell the
What?
story.
Yeah, please
So
do.
originally, when I just glanced at the name for the first time, I was like, "Oh, the Rebel Elves. That's kind of cool."
Rebel
I was like, "Oh, it's not."
We wear ears on
Oh
stage.
my God.
But if I look at the website, it looks like the Therapy Elves.
Does.
Yes.
Wait, should we be
Yes.
elves for Halloween and do a
That's a
Halloween
great
Yes.
idea. In our goddesses.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes,
I like it, yeah.
And if it's too last minute, just do like a live stream of something like it.
Yes.
That's true.
You're
On
so
Facebook.
right.
Yeah.
You're so
We're
right.
raising
be
money
cool.
for a record. That's a great idea.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Okay.
So somebody called out therapy elves.
Multiple
people.
Yeah, or like
Because
iterations of elf.
When you
things.
squish it together, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
They're like the therapy elves, and we're like, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
It's still on brand.
Yeah.
Like anal bum cover, right?
It's not wrong.
It's
Wait.
an album cover. You guys haven't heard that? That was that was a
Oh
Jeopardy
my
SNL
God.
joke from like in the
That's
90s.
great.
I've never heard that.
You
That's
never?
good. That's
That
good.
was a good one.
That is a good
Funny.
one.
There's
Yeah.
lots of those jokes in that skit. Look it up. It's fun.
So for the record, it's
So
the
funny.
rebeleves.com.
Correct.
Yes.
But if you do want a shirt with our therapy elves on it, come see us because we did.
We
Dawn
have
did
them.
make us one.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Sweet.
Thanks
Well,
for
yes. Thank you
having
again,
us.
ladies. This was great.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
We will
Yeah.
we'll see if we can't do something like a longer form one maybe next year. I know you're going to be busy, but we'll
We'll have an
Now-
album coming out.
now
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, perfect.
Please.
Yeah, we'll talk more.
Cool.
Would love to
Sounds
talk
great.
more and learn more about the Rebel Eves and these awesome women. Thank you for listening to the Bitten Music Podcast.
Thanks for having us.
If you like this episode, check out all of our episodes on your favorite streaming platform.
Or even our website, themittenmusic.com.
Or if you want short clips of our episodes, check out our socials. We got Facebook, we have Instagram, we got TikTok, and YouTube. We're all over the social media game. Make sure to check out some live Michigan music or listen on your favorite streaming platform.